Hi Cancer, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome back, and welcome to those of you who have never been here before. My name is Jackie and I do weekly readings, weekly tarot readings that where I mix astrology, numerology, and psychology. Definitely check out your rising sign first, then your sun sign, then your moon, and then if you have time, check out your Venus placement as well. It's how I always recommend checking it out for the most sort of like holistic message. If you don't know your birth placements, you could, and you know what time you're born, use any of the free online birth chart calculators. Just remember, if you're putting in that 12 o'clock default time, chances are the information that they give you is not going to be accurate as far as your house placements and your rising sign, because your rising sign changes every 60 to 90 minutes, and I'm being generous when I say that. A few minutes can even make a difference here. But anyway, so let's just get into whatever is going on this week. We're going to start by pulling some oracles for you, and then I'll pull a Celtic cross spread, pull some cards for relationship. I'm going to try to keep it a little shorter this week than I've been doing, only because I'm very busy right now. So you guys know this is my happy place, right? Pulling cards for you guys on YouTube. But I have other stuff going on right now as well. So let's see what we get, what good messages we can get for you guys. We have retreat, count your blessings, laugh at your demons. So the stars of the week are, it's all about Venus entering Virgo on the 21st, Sun entering into Leo on the 22nd. So those energies are going to be hanging out for a month. And then, of course, we have the full moon in Aquarius on the 23rd. And that full moon in Aquarius is happening for you in your 8th house. And it's hanging out in there with Saturn. And it's opposing the new Sun and Leo energy in your 2nd house. So your 2nd house, 8th house, it's like your money axis, the axis of things that matter to you, things that you value. I'll go into that a little bit more in a minute, but that really is going to be very, very lit up for you. Money that you make from the work that you do as well, and then kind of intention with money that your partner has, or something to do with an inheritance, assurance payout, debt, taxes, anything like that. So we're going to work it in, but that's something that we're going to be thinking about, particularly this week. And Cancers, especially for those of you who, I mean, everybody's going to be feeling it, but especially the cardinal signs, which is you, Aries, Libra, and Capricorn, and especially those of you who are at around, I want to say 27 to 30 degrees, give or take a couple of degrees on each side, have to do with those cardinal signs. And then like 0 to 5 degrees, if you know your fixed signs, fixed would be your Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, most significantly. The mutables aren't going to be experiencing this as much, the same as everyone else. So let me just see what else we can get. We have retreat, Queen of Fire. Oh, I love that. That's so healthy. Okay. Yes. Okay. Really focusing on your passions right now. I love it. But kind of stepping back. Yeah, doing this sort of retreat thing. Why not? You have the North Node in Gemini aspecting your 12th house, which is really nice. I feel like there's some sort of something new's coming in that is sort of shifting your subconscious, which is sort of getting in the way of your limited beliefs, right? And I just feel like something's going to be occurring to you right now that I think is going to end up being very beautiful. I really do. Even though, yeah, I mean, look, it is sextiling this the Sun and Leo energy in the 2nd house. So a lot of you might be, I don't know, changing your mind about what it is that you want to actually, how you want to handle something, or something that you want to do as you move into the future. I feel like there's some sort of shift coming in. All right, so let's see. We have retreat. We have that being clarified by the Queen of Fire. Very nice. And it's just about stepping into your power, right? Ideas popping. You having the strength to make something happen. You're feeling very energized, very energized. It's something very, what I like about this energy as well is that there's an element of self-awareness with the strength, which I really like. So how powerful is that? But it's retreating from something that's not working, retreating from something that you feel like is creating a lot of tension, whatever that is, and working more on like problem solving. I feel it's just problem solving energy, hands down for you guys right now. Venus and Virgo. Virgo is the problem solving energy. Virgo is the landlord of the 6th house of health, mental, physical, emotional health. It's problem solving. It's your day-to-day work environment. It's also your small pets, okay? That's Virgo. It's going to be hanging in that third house, which is Gemini's home, which is all about the mind and thinking, communicating, your siblings, social activity, your interests, your neighbors, learning something from the bottom up, like some sort of workshop, something like that kind of thing. So I feel like it's a very supportive energy in that way. And all of that might be, you might be pushed forward because I feel like there's a lack of clarity surrounding something on this axis, right? Because the Neptune and retrograde Jupiter are opposing this in the 9th house of your belief system, of your higher education, of your philosophy, of you dealing with people or things in a different way, having to do with, again, what is truth for you. So how is this going to really work for you? What is it? How can it easily manifest for you, Cancer? Well, if we think about being very ginger and very sort of mindful of how you communicate with people, third house, particularly family members, siblings, extended family, anyone that you're doing business with, being very gentle, being very caring, being very mindful, being of service to them, because Virgo is all about being of service. This is an energy where you don't want to be too focused on yourself, but better to be focused on the truth or the right thing in a situation. So you want to also be careful of spending too much money. You want to be careful of any sort of gluttonous and self-indulgent behavior. You know, that doesn't only go for food. We could be like very sort of self-interested, right? So you want to just be very, very mindful of that, because Venus in Virgo is a very of service energy, right? But we have to understand that this moon in the moon in Aquarius energy, right, the full moon in Aquarius energy, that's going to be opposing the Leo sun energy, there's going to be this sort of battle between what do I want and then what is good for the collective, right? Something to mention here, we have this yang energy. Man, are you going to be very motivated and fired up? Procrastination. So very interesting, because I feel like you're going to feel very, very motivated to do something, and your mind is going to be like crazy busy. But there's going to be something that's going to be scaring you. There's going to be something that's getting in your way, something that's challenging you. And I feel like it might be something just very internal as well. Even though I feel like your internal world is going to be very supportive of you, there might be something having to do with like challenging. Okay, what am I getting here? I feel like there's something challenging you that you feel represents part of your identity and who it is you stand for, your approach to life, how you feel like things should be handled. And I feel like that's in tension with the need to change something having to do with some sort of work situation, some sort of merging together of within a relationship, having to do with sex, intimacy, sharing finances, something to do with inheritance, especially if it has to do with something having to do with father. Because Saturn is in there with that moon in Aquarius energy, and Saturn is father. So it could have to do with inheritance, taxes, loan, assets, property, joint ventures, especially if you're doing something with your father, goals, partners, resources, anything like that. So some of you may be in this space of saying, I don't know, do I want to do this thing with my father? Or trying to settle up a father's estate, or some sort of situation with the father, or something to do with father that's going to resonate for many of you, wondering, like, do you want to do this? And is it something that you're being really honest with yourself about, right? Because remember, the moon in Aquarius energy in tarot is the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is all about this idea of dishonesty, maybe running away from something, maybe there being an overstepping of boundaries, maybe there being some sort of selfishness here that you need to look at, right? And recognizing, because that's what it is in tarot, right? When we just talk about the moon in Aquarius, it's like emotions focused on the collective, focused on friends, focused on the humanitarian efforts. It's very sort of almost romantic, right? Feeling these emotions about where it is that we're going, but at the same time, because it's the moon, there could be some disappointment. We might not be completely forthcoming about what we actually want. So you might be involved in doing something having to do with father, that you're not being completely open about how you feel about the situation or what it is that you really want. If it doesn't have any, and it could be you, could be the father, whatever it is. It doesn't have anything to do with that. This could simply be where you're not really being completely forthcoming about something that's going on in your marriage or in your business partnership, whereas there's this element of shared finances or this tax situation. You're being completely honest about it. Are you being honest about the goals that you want to achieve here, right? So it's all about that, but it's sort of like, what do you really want versus what are you telling people that you're dealing with is going on, right? And it's about recognizing where you might not be either 100% honest with yourself, or where are you being too accepting of other people's dishonesty, right? And it's not going to be able to continue, right, in this energy. You're not going to be able to continue it, but it may feel very big to you, right? Because you're Cancer and you're sensitive and you want to feel safe and secure and you want to be in your shell. But this is going to require Yang energy, which is going to require you stepping up, Queen of Fire, Yang energy. Get out there. Get out there, right? I mean, it is like getting out of the space of retreat and really recognizing that the answer to something is by a lot of assertiveness, not aggressiveness, but assertiveness on your part. We have count your blessings, and that's being clarified by the Two of Air. So there's some sort of, you're in this emotional stalemate. You need to think about whatever it is that's sort of the most, well, figure out where it is in your life. There's some area in your life where you feel like literally you're in this emotional stalemate that you need to make a decision, yes or no on. You want to protect yourself, but the situation that you're dealing with, it's not going away. So it needs addressing. It's not going to be resolved on its own. So the best thing to do here is stand your ground, say what you think, but a decision is definitely needed about the future. And when we have that clarifying that you count your blessings, the answer here is standing your ground and saying what you think is the right thing here, right? Because this, my friends, this is a Moon and Libra energy. So when we're talking about Libra, we're talking about what's fair. We're talking about a win-win situation. So if something's not fair, you have to speak up. You have to speak up. And then we have the Two, the Sea. You're doing a lot of thinking right now. And that's good. No, this is good. To the Sea is, you're not totally focused on the future. You're not totally focused on the past. You're focused staying on top of your emotions in the here and now, right? And she's reading a book. She's trying to gain some wisdom, get perspective. This is what she's doing right now. So you'll be, okay, I'm in an emotional stalemate. I know I need to move forward. I really don't want to have to do this, but I kind of have to do this, and that's it. And I do feel like it has something to do with a family situation or your people, right? So that could be whoever your family is, guys. We don't have to be related to our family, right? I mean, whoever your people are. I almost feel like, I don't know, I almost feel like, I want to say you're like a voice of the people, but that sounds very, not only dramatic, but not accurate. I feel like there were more people, whatever situation is that you're trying to work out, I feel like there were more people involved in it than just you. In other words, it's not just you and one other person. It's you and a group of people, or it's you with a group of people against one person, or two groups dealing here. If it just has to do with like your marriage, it's just the idea, like the plurality of the idea of family and tribe and people, right? Because obviously if you're married, it's okay, you're married to them, but then there's other family involved, there are other people involved as well. All right, we have laugh at your, always good to laugh. Laugh at your demons. Laugh at where you get in your own way. I mean, do you like lose your mind when somebody like accuses you of something or makes you feel like questioning yourself or whatever, just feel like you're just so ridiculous. You know, something like that, especially if you know your own truth. We have the Three of Earth, very nice energy here. This is about collaborating, success, you really allowing your talents to shine, you putting an idea out there, a product out there, some sort of successful launch. Whatever you're trying to get off the ground, it's going to go in your favor. This could also indicate home improvements, the sale of a home, really good about that. Just good, good, good. Good, good, good. Regeneration, yeah. So, I mean, look, this is where the moon in Aquarius energy is, right? So we have this just unbelievable culmination, illumination. It's going to be a lot of sensitivity in this energy, of course, right? Just keeping in mind, the Leo sun is proud and intensely individual, and that's sitting in your second house, okay? Not happy with simply being just one of the team here, okay? So it has to do with that, and having to do with something that matters to you. The Aquarius moon, that's hanging in that eighth house of endings and beginnings, which is this regeneration energy, while individualistic, values independence and all of that, also has value for the team, doing the right thing for the group. So you're not going to be in this space where it's like you're going to be pushing forward with something, but it's almost like you're not doing it only for you. There's kind of like this group spirit incited here, right? But there's going to be this sort of conflict between that and like the money that you make and the money that you have, and representing or standing up for a group or a situation. So it's like your values, it's not only about money, it's your values, whatever it is, versus somebody else. Like that conflict between like the you versus them or me versus we kind of thing, that tension can be very illuminated in this energy. So there's going to need to be some sort of balancing out. There's got to be some sort of balancing out here. You know? But definitely some change going on here. There's no question. There's no question there's some sort of change having to do with, it's like collaborating, and that collaboration is going to incite change. And you may be laughing at your past mistakes and just like, whatever, you know, like right now, this is what we're dealing with. And we have pride. So there's something going on here that's actually like really touching up on your pride. And Cancer, you're not a very prideful sign. And we all have pride, normal pride, healthy pride, right? Normal, healthy, and that is you. But it's like something has so gone against your grain, having to do with something either in a relationship, in work, in a family situation, something regarding some sort of investment, finance, lawsuit, something like that, that it's like you can't not look at it. You can't not look at it, but you're in this space of like kind of procrastinating, pulling back. I know I have to, I don't know. Just sort of trying to balance out the energies here. And it does look like, the best course of action really is to just go for it. Just go for it. Especially if it has anything to do with like home, family, anything to do with real estate, anything to do with your early childhood experience. So what would that deal with? That would deal with anything having to do with buying a home, selling a home for inheritance, real estate investment, anything having to do with people you live with, people moving in, moving out, your ability to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. You have Libra aspect in your fourth house right now. So a lot of you might be dealing with like the lower courts to rectify a situation, or you might just be able to have a meeting of the minds here. But whatever it is, it does seem like it's going to end up going in your favor, because that fourth house is also trining that moon in Aquarius energy in that eighth house, that house of endings and beginnings. So the trine is a very positive, nurturing energy. So I feel like maybe I should do the astrology like separate. I just feel like I have so much to say with the astrology. It's so hard to find the time to do all of it, though, you know? You know what I mean, Cancer? Sometimes we need 29 hours in a day. All right. So let's talk about the past coming into this energy. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Here's your Jupiter energy. So in reverse, this, while you may experience you might be having some bad luck in the moment or in the recent past, this does indicate an end to a challenging time period. So thank goodness for that. You're going to experience closure in some way here. You might experience this as having, though, ultimately like a lacking of confidence in your intuition and your decision-making skills, kind of going back to that procrastination card, I feel like. But you want to resolve to work really honestly with the situation, honestly, and be very persistent in working out or toward whatever it is that you're working on, right? You know what I always say, Cancer, right? We all have an illuminated part, and we all have a shadow manifestation, and one of the challenges that Cancers can have, because you guys are the fourth house of the stories that we tell ourselves, right? Particularly about our early childhood and how things had been. So you want to make sure that you're looking at everything very honestly and that you're not telling yourself any sort of false narratives based in fear. It doesn't mean that you are purposely lying, purposely exaggerating, nothing like that. It's just you tend to remember things, experiences through your emotional body. So you tend to remember things based on how they made you feel in that moment, and that heavily colors how you experience something in reflection and in retrospect, right? So you might be in that space, but I do feel like you're vibing that something has reached a turning point. Fate is definitely at play here, and there needs to be some change. So you right now, 7 of Pentacles, this is Saturn and Taurus. This is you working hard, being very patient. Because you know if you play your cards right here, there's potential for success in something. That relationship, that business venture, whatever it is. Whatever your situation is, don't give up. You're almost there. And you're going to be very happy that you did. But let's take a look at what is challenging right now is the Hangman reverse. The Hangman reverse, this tells me you need to reevaluate your expectations and see if what you want to do or what you expect from a situation is a realistic possibility. You want to be super careful of like rigid thinking, or martyrdom, feeling, anything like that, feeling like you've been martyred, or someone that you're dealing with showing up like that, right? Somebody else saying like, oh, you have no idea what I've done or what I sacrificed, what I gave up, and it's like they're very rigid in that thinking. You could be dealing with somebody like that. But you have to see if some kind of like either fantasy or false narrative isn't being held on to right now. Look things over with a lot of honesty right now, Cancer. And see if you can't liberate yourself from a situation that will not ultimately give you what you want, ultimately. And that's right now, this is the challenge. So you're being patient. But at the same time, this is the energy that we're dealing with there as the challenge for you. So the basis of the situation is Moon. So some of you, Moon is mother, it's Luna. It rules Cancer, it rules you, it rules the 4th house, it rules home. So this could have to do something with home. So if this has something to do with, let's say, career or money, you might achieve a goal, but you ultimately feel like was it even worth the effort? Emotions are running high. You feel like you need to protect yourself from others' negativity. Even if your money matters are like personally stable, you want more satisfaction than just that. It's almost like there's a principle or an emotional connection to something that you're trying to go after. If this has to do with relationships, there's a lot of confusion and disappointment, feeling really let down by somebody or a situation, and there's a lack of trust that a relationship is actually going to work out in a way that's going to work well for everybody, that ends up leading you to make a decision about how you're handling that relationship now. Because it does tell me that right now, what's inflecting you right now is a very I'm feeling this very strongly, is a crisis of faith in something. At the same time, you're feeling very emotionally vulnerable. You want to make sure you don't have any illusions about anything though, right? At the same time, as right now we have this Knight of Wands, as you might be dealing with the Knight of Wands in reverse. There's a lot of chaos, right? There's a very chaotic energy. So be a chaotic situation, a chaotic person. So for some of you, this can manifest as somebody where there's a lot of sexual excess being exercised here. So you might be dealing with a player energy. You might be out there just saying, you know what, I want to just bust out of this and do A, B, and C. Very unlike the Cancer archetype. I do want to say that. but I don't know what else is aspecting your chart. So I'm just going to give that. I have no idea what aspects your Cancer energy. So, but this is about impulsivity as well. So you really want to make sure that you keep any potential to have any sort of, especially an impulsive reaction. It's so hard to do that, isn't it? Like in the moment, right? I mean, okay, let me count to 10. Let me respond instead of react, whatever. It's so hard. So forgive yourself if you end up doing it. But because this is indicated here, where there's going to be some sort of like impulsive reaction because of some sort of disappointment, toxic energy, whatever it is, it's very hard to not speak the truth and then hide, right? I mean, that's kind of like what happens a lot here with Cancers. So something that you really need to look at, like a suggested approach here, is to look at where's the Seven of Cups in reverse working here. Seven of Cups in reverse is about clarity, the illusion of something ending, there being a restored sense of self, restored sense of clarity in a situation, a restored sense of balance, right? So you might have been dealing with a situation that was just really kind of bananas, like just a very chaotic energy, chaotic situation. Things were up and down. Oh my gosh, what's going on? You're feeling all kinds of disappointment, disillusionment, you know. But here it's like, all right, well, listen, what happens after a storm? Everything is so quiet, right? And only the stuff that has any integrity is left standing. Like all the dead wood is falling off the trees and all of that stuff. And it's like, all right, I kind of feel like, listen, I got to get out of Dodge, away from the negativity, right? And this really is, I mean, the Chariot, this is the energy that's external to you and others, right? Now, this is about just this recognition where some of you are going to be realizing somebody's moving away. I just want to say for those of you who are, because Chariot is Cancer, and Cancer, you know, besides being you guys are ruled by the moon, and this is Mother. So that there's this idea of something that maybe your mother asked you to do, or something your mother expected, not being able to manifest, and you realizing something not being able to manifest that maybe your mother would have wanted or wants, whether in life or in death. This is also you needing to be very clear on the fact that there's something is moving away from you. So if there's someone or a situation that is not dealing with you, it's because they're viewing you as toxic right now. Even if you're not, that it kind of doesn't matter. Subjectivity is a very interesting thing. But the challenge that you're having right now is with this Temperance energy, which is all about balance. And this is the challenge for you. So when this shows up as a challenge, obviously it's imbalance, a lack of cooperation, something unfair, having to do with something regarding the home or regarding finances. You might feel like you are putting in a lot of work into something and it's just not working out, right? And at the same time, you might be feeling challenged by something that needs to change. And the stress of this past situation that is currently impacting you, it's really getting in the way with some difficult memories maybe of the past that can make you feel stuck and held back in your ability to actually move forward and make something happen. It's almost like an analysis paralysis kind of thing, where it's like you might even know in your mind what needs to be done, but it's almost like you're paralyzed to be able to actually put it into motion. And I feel like it's rooted in like a deep disappointment or a sadness of some kind. Now we have in the near future the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, which is somebody being very stubborn. Somebody not putting work into something, work being very necessary in order to make something happen, and them not putting it in, them just not doing it, you know, very frustrating energy. So somebody maybe who's not very loyal, who's not very dependable, you know, kind of a selfish energy actually, you know. But this is like maybe you feeling like, you know, maybe money that was supposed to come to you, maybe not coming to you, or at least not in the way that you thought. Something not manifesting the way that you thought. And you're having a hard time investing any more time and energy into something and being very consistent with your efforts to make something work. You feel like it's just kind of not working and not clear to you right now. But it's almost, you know, this is a Leo and Virgo energy, right? So something that you really like want to create. In the reverse, it's like there's something very unhealthy about what's going on with it. There's something that you need to recognize there. Now we have as the final outcome energy, the Three of Pentacles, which is nice. Three of Pentacles is about collaborating and success, right? Working together. This is successful something, fill in the blank. I mean, something positive is coming in right now, for sure. So for some of you, this is a successful launch of something that you're looking to launch. Selling your home improvements, anything like that. But there's some sort of reward coming in for work that you're doing. So even though you might feel like things are imbalanced, even though you might feel like somebody is not being as communicative or as open as you would like, you might not be sure of where something's going. You might be, you know, not sure about that. You are more clear on what it is that you're feeling. You are. I mean, it does seem like that to me. Even if you're not 100% sure about what your truth is right now, what is your personal philosophy, your moral code, your moral compass, only because Neptune in Pisces and Jupiter retrograde in Pisces are transiting your 9th house. That's okay. You do intuitively know in that first house with Mercury in you, right, which is a very, very mind thinking energy, you being very sort of more clear in your attitude and your approach to things. So I feel there's a certain level of certainty that is happening within you that you haven't been able to feel up to this point, even though you're not sure of what that even means for you completely. So we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. The Ten of Wands in reverse is taking a break, finally saying no to something. I'm not going to put up with it anymore. Nope, right? We have the Four of Cups in reverse. This is a new outlook, a new approach, a new direction. So it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. So we really like this. Ten of Cups. You just want there to be, like, can't everybody just get along? Ten of Cups energy is really that. It's about contentment. It's family. It's security. It's a great energy for partnerships, family connections, anything that you've been working on or focused on coming together. In any area, business, family, romance, communication, whatever it is. Five of Pentacles. This could feel like a test of your resources, a test of connections as well. And you're just not feeling very secure. Some of you might be fearing losing the security of a home, losing the security of something that you thought was coming in, but this is very deeply psychological. There's more support here than you even realize. You have the Three of Cups, which is all about support. Abundant, healing, creation. The Five of Wands in reverse is about harmony and success and problems being resolved. So I'm going to end the Celtic cross spread there because I like it, how it ends up. Very heavy energy going through it. It looks like you sort of have to go through the process of problem solving something, Cancer, but it looks like it's going to end up going in your favor. So really cool for that. Let's pull an ellipse, 7-card ellipse for a relationship. This is not only going to be for singles, not only going to be for complicated, it's just whoever it's going to resonate with, my friends, okay? Because I don't have the time like that I had last week. Okay. So the Page of Swords in the recent past, or in the past, Page of Swords. People ask me that a lot. Well, what does the past mean exactly? Is it last week, last month, last year, 10 years ago? Whatever it means to you. So that's why I typically say coming into this energy. Page of Swords is some sort of useful information coming in. So maybe you're meeting somebody, through friends, through work. You find out like that there's some positive communication going on about you to somebody who has feelings for you. Could be for some of you. Remember, swords are also, it's an air energy, right? So that's indicative of communication. So this could be online communication, so meeting somebody new online as well. But Page always incites a new cycle. So some of you might be meeting somebody brand new. Others of you may have had maybe you went through a challenging situation, but you sat down and you had a really good, healthy conversation. But it's something new. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse right now. So the Five of Pentacles in reverse right now, this is hope returning. So some sort of new opportunity, recovering, getting past something. Getting past something. And then in the near future, we have the Six of Swords. And this can manifest a couple of different ways. This could manifest as you guys making the decision to leave any sort of toxic fill in the blank in the past, whatever it is. Right? And you detaching from that and you saying, we can't live in the past. Let's focus on now, right? And let's just allow some space. Let's work on ourselves. Let's work on the relationship, and that's it. A lot of you are going to be experiencing it in that way. Others of you moving on and manifesting something new for yourself to come in. This is about like detachment, time apart, or at least taking a break from a relationship, allowing some space to do that internal work. Okay, now the advice here is the Four of Cups in reverse, which is a new outlook, a new direction, a new option. Sort of new option coming in. So I feel like, this is very interesting. Sorry for the delay, I'm actually feeling very strongly that this is kind of leaning more towards singles, because I feel like we have this Page of Swords energy, right? So this is maybe you're just meeting somebody new, whatever. But the Five of Pentacles, there's more time put into that. There's more time put in, and when you feel like you're being tested and being tested in connection, I don't know, like you're just not feeling very secure. This could be you in the aftermath of a breakup. But there's more support there than you realize surrounding you, but you dealing with something, but you moving away from the toxicity, you having some sort of new option, some sort of new outlook, new direction. And then we have the Three of Wands in the reverse as the advice. Three of Wands in reverse, understand this has to do with delay, right? And some sort of setback. So the advice here is to look at where and how just taking a break right now from relationship may benefit you. Where can it benefit you? Because then we have in your block, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse is about maybe working, first of all, way too hard. Something that you need to work. Like some of you just might be doing nothing but working, throwing yourself into work. Maybe that's what you have to do right now. Okay. Some of you might be dealing with financial setbacks, so that, the focus, even though you might want to deal with partnership, the focus may need to be more in the money area, or at least more focus in the area of taking care of some sort of situation that has to do with money or career. But having that be the focus right now more than anything, right? And we have the Nine of Wands. I just feel like this is pretty healthy, actually. The Nine of Wands in reverse is about having faith in something, feeling kind of defensive, but having faith, but isolation ending. But at the same time, like you not being with somebody in it, but you being so cautious that it could actually like be borderline paranoid. Where like you're not trusting anybody because there was some sort of situation, some sort of information came in, made you feel really bad, having to do with relationship. You detached from that, you changing your outlook, you're focusing on yourself, you're really moving forward. And this really is an energy, honestly, of working on ourselves, really focusing on what's good for you. And I don't mean to say that in a way where there's any self-centeredness, but particularly with Venus and Virgo happening in your third house, that is the Nine of Coin card. And that's about really focusing on independent endeavors, then, you know, if you could focus on doing what you have to do for you, working on you, what that's going to end up bringing is you meeting a healthy connection after doing solid work on yourself, because 9 is the number of productivity, and it's about integrating body, mind, and spirit. And the wheel, I know some of you are like, no, woman. The wheel is like, you could be getting back with somebody from the past, or you might just be making the final decision to reconcile something with the past. So if you've been in this space where you're just like, I can't believe I allowed myself to be in a relationship with an absolute psycho. I never knew them. How did I not see all the red flags? How did I not? This is you just, you know, reconciling that with yourself, saying, you know what? They were good. They fooled me. And in the moment, I did what I felt was right. And you like, that's an example of reconciling that, because you've reached a turning point. Right? A very fated turning point. And this is a Jupiter energy, and Jupiter is not only about luck, expansion, it's about integrity, it's about moving forward. So you looking at some sort of situation that's gone on in relationship in the past, and you looking at it very, very honestly, very honestly. But some of you may be getting revisited by somebody in the past. And we have that working with the Judgment in reverse. So you might feel yourself stuck in the past. You might feel yourself stuck in old patterns. You might feel like, why can't I move on? What is the deal? I haven't been with that person for long enough where I should be at least I should be able to move forward without like their energy on my soul. It's like the residue. It's almost like a residue I'm feeling. The best thing to do though here with this energy is just accept the past. Be kind to yourself. Everyone did the best they knew how in the moment. Everyone did the best they knew how in the moment, and that's it. And just really try. I see like a lot of attempt to sort of like reconcile. I just see a lot of change here, honestly. When you have Scorpio aspecting your 5th house, right? You have Pluto's and Capricorn is aspecting the 7th house of partnerships for you. And you know what, Cancer? Listen, you know, just so you know, when you have Capricorn or Saturn transiting your 7th house, chances are of you either meeting up with somebody who you've known for many years, or meeting somebody who's much older. So just something in mind to keep in mind here. But that is what I have for you for this week. I hope this was helpful for you in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.